This is not the next video that I wanted to ever make for you guys. I can't believe that I am. My goal was to be posting every week, but clearly I hadn't posted in a couple weeks, and this is why. The way that I viewed this channel going was not this way. I imagined myself posting videos about finding out I'm pregnant, telling my husband, my whole journey, and I actually have multiple of those videos, but obviously with how my situation has gone, they will not be put up. I can't put that out there. It's too hard for me, honestly. Unfortunately, I had a second miscarriage in a row. I'm also gonna add a segment of when I found out I was pregnant. That was supposed to be its own video, but it's not going to be. I even had a video about when I surprised my husband. I'm not going to put that in here. So the day that I found out I was pregnant, I took one of those cheap dollar tests in the morning, and I swore that I saw the faintest shadow. Not even a line, it was literally a shadow. Almost to the point where if you saw it, you would think like this test is negative, but I knew what I was looking for and I recognized the color on the test. After checking up on that test a couple times for a few hours, I decided I was gonna go to Walgreens and get an actual first response test. I dipped it real quick and I had to be out the door because I was on my way to a signing. I was actually running a little bit late. So I had my daughter in the car, I took the test and I put it near the center console, and I knew I had to wait like that 3 minutes. And when the 3 minutes hit, I checked real quick at a stoplight and I saw a line, and I couldn't believe it. I was like in shock. I was shaking. I then pulled over and I really took the chance to look at the test, and that's the footage that I will add in this video. There's literally a line. I don't know if you can see it. It's literally there. Oh my god. I'm so scared. So yeah, I was just in complete shock. I was so happy. We had been trying for 2 months from my past miscarriage, my first miscarriage, and it finally happened. So after my signing, I actually stopped by my friend's house because it was on the way home, and I showed her the test and I was just like, am I seeing things? Is this positive? And she agreed that it was positive. She was so excited for me, and I told her like, it just doesn't feel real because I'm so nervous with what happened last time. It was just, it's hard to accept. You don't want to get, yourself too excited because the possibilities that could happen. I actually waited like 3 days to tell my husband that I was pregnant, and she was like, I don't know how you're able to keep it a secret, but because I was so nervous, like I was able to keep it a secret. What happened to me hadn't happened, I probably would have told him instantly, but it was also important to me to make it like a big surprise for him. I decorated our entire backboard. I won't add that video. It's just like sad to look back on. I was 3 weeks when I found out, so like very early on. I called my doctor's office that Monday morning, and I told them I'm pregnant. I want to schedule my first 8-week appointment, and that I also wanted to have blood work done before my 8-week appointment because I didn't want the same thing to happen again, which was when I went to my first appointment, there was no heartbeat. They told me just because the blood work shows that your level's increasing doesn't mean that there will be a heartbeat, which I totally understand, but for my own peace of mind, I wanted to see that my levels were increasing. And I had also joined a Facebook group of other moms trying to conceive, and I made a friend on there who was literally due, I think, the same day as me or around the same day. She even had her first appointment on the first day, and she had put me and another girl in a group message because we were due in the same month. And I remember asking them, like, do you guys feel like all your symptoms vanished? Because mine did. Like, I almost didn't feel pregnant anymore. That triggered me. Whoa, okay, wait, backtrack. So when I found out I was pregnant, I continued to take pregnancy tests because I wanted to see the line get darker, and it did. So back to what I was saying, that triggered me to want to take another pregnancy test, and I was supposed to be 5 weeks the following day. So I had one of those cheap dollar tests. I took one, and when I took it, it came out negative, super negative, just like nothing there, just the control line. And I was like, what the heck? This should literally be super dark. So then I took a second one, and same thing, completely negative. I will add the picture of that one. So at this point, I'm kind of freaking out. I took a picture and I sent it to that group message, and they were like, it could be the hook effect. And I've never heard of the hook effect. So they sent me a link, and what it pretty much is, when there's so much HCG in your system, it will trip the pregnancy test. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's what's happening. But I'm also thinking, like, am I going to have a miscarriage? Like, what is happening here? So I went to Walgreens and I got their version of the first response test. I took the test and it came out barely positive, like literally the faintest line. I took a second one and it looked even more negative, like even more faint. So at this point, I'm freaking out. I called my doctor and I told them what happened. The next appointment wasn't until the following day, and that was like a televisit with a doctor, and I said that's fine, like I'll do it. And I also wanted to do the blood work. I actually spent like that whole day just freaking out, of course, looking up everything I could online, reading tons of forums, and I had come to the conclusion that I was going to have what's called like a chemical pregnancy, and it's a miscarriage. It's an early miscarriage. I had the same feeling that I had with my first miscarriage, and the best way I can explain it is just like a detachment, and it's like a detachment to the pregnancy in the sense that like I just didn't feel connected anymore. So the following morning, I went to get blood work done, and I also had my appointment with my doctor at 2 p.m. and I told him everything that was happening. I forgot to add that they put me on progesterone. It's called Prometrium, and I had to take that every night, and that helps to prevent miscarriage, but they also told me that that doesn't mean it will prevent miscarriage. Every time I took it, I felt extremely drunk. Like 2 hours after I took it, I would feel so drunk. It was not a good feeling at all. So my doctor told me that statistically, 1 miscarriage is considered an unfortunate event. 2 miscarriages is also considered an unfortunate event. But the 3rd miscarriage in a row is when they start to worry, and when they decide that they'll run tests. The thought of a 3rd, it just scares me because I don't want there to be something wrong, obviously. He also told me that my results for that blood test would not come in until the following morning, but he would give me a call first thing. And that was at 2 p.m. At 7 p.m. on that same day, I started to have spotting. And it started off like very light. When I went to the restroom and saw like a little bit of pink, I knew what was happening. I just started crying because I couldn't believe it. I felt like I knew it was going to happen, but the fact that it actually was happening, it just crushed me. So I literally spent a couple hours that night just praying, and I asked my cousin to pray for me. I asked one of my friends to pray for me. Like, I was literally just trying to hold on to like some hope. Like, as the night progressed, during the middle of the night, I started to get like dull cramps. They felt a little bit like period cramps, nothing insane, nothing extreme. And the next morning, like, my bleeding got a little bit worse, and I knew it. And I called the doctor that morning to find out what my levels were, and also to tell them that I was bleeding. And they said that my HCG level came back negative. That day, thankfully, I was really busy, so I was a little bit distracted. I mean, I was really sad, but the following day and the day after were the hardest for me. I was just like completely devastated. Just the only way I can put it is I just felt so sad, just sad, and I didn't want to do anything. Like, it's hard. Physically, I felt like I was just on my period. The cramps were a little bit more like of a dull ache, but they weren't anything unbearable. They weren't extreme. Like I mentioned, it was just like a normal period. Just like my first miscarriage, I've told myself that I have to move forward, and I have to keep trying. It's not easy, but you have no choice. And I am thankful that I have my daughter, She keeps me busy. She keeps me distracted. She reminds me how lucky I am. Not many people know this, but I actually got pregnant with her on birth control. So that's sort of how I remind myself that when it's meant to happen, it will happen. And like, I feel like at this point, it's not up to me when it will happen. And obviously I can do my part to try, but it's not up to me when I will have my next baby. My hopes through these videos is that I can help somebody, and especially with this video, I hope that somebody can help me, because you feel so lonely and you worry so much. I mean, at least I have been. I just keep wondering, like, am I gonna struggle to have another baby? Like, it's so scary. There's no other way to put it. It's scary. And it's hard. Thank you guys again for supporting me and being with me during this journey. I will talk to you in my next video. Bye, guys.